All right, good afternoon, committee members and staff. I'm Jasper Gill, Chief Operating Officer and Associate Director of Operations and Equity of Access. As per the Education Act, I'm acting as the designate of the Director of Education and will preside over the meeting until there is a chair and vice chair elected. I now call this meeting to order. We will now have the land acknowledged.
The land upon which we work, live, and sustain ourselves is the ancestral and treaty lands of the Michizagig Anishinaabe, also known today as the Mississaugas of the Credit, the rightful caretakers and title holders of this land. We also recognize the rich pre-contact history and relationships which include the Anishinaabe and the Ongwe Hongwe.
Since European contact, this land continues to be home to Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. As responsible community members, we value the diversity, dignity, and worth of all people.
Colonialism displaced and dispossessed Indigenous peoples of their ancestral land
and continues to deny their basic human rights, dignities, and freedoms.
We are committed to learning true history to reconcile, make reparations, and fulfill our treaty obligations to the original peoples and our collective responsibilities to the lands, water, animals, and each other for future generations.
So the first order of business is the election of the chair and vice chair of the audit committee. These elections are for a one-year term. I will now see nominations for the position of chair. Please raise your hand if you wish to put forward a nomination. Please know that committee members may nominate themselves. Yes, Trustee Campbell.
Thank you. Through you, Associate Director Gill, I would like to nominate Trustee Will Davies as the chair.
So I have received one nomination for Trustee Davies to serve as chair of the committee. Are there any other members who wish to serve as chair?
Through Mr. Gill, I second that.
Thank you. Actually, there is, okay. I will ask for that in a bit. Thank you. So I have a motion from Trustee Cameron to appoint Trustee Davies as chair of the audit committee. Do I have a seconder for this motion?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you, Trustee Davies, accept the nomination?
With honor, thank you.
May I now have a motion that the nomination be closed? Moved by Trustee Davies and second by Trustee Campbell. So there was only one nomination for the chair of the audit committee. Trustee Davies is claimed to the position. So congratulations, Trustee Davies. You want to go to this place?
You can.
Okay. Sure.
Mr. Smith.
So I will now receive nomination for the position of vice chair. So please raise your hand if you wish to put forward a nomination. Please note, committee members may nominate themselves. So Trustee Davies.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Sinha, as Trustee Cameron does so much for this board, and I'd like to spread the love around a little bit.
So I have received one nomination for Mr. Sinha to serve as vice chair of the committee. Are there any other members who wish to serve as the vice chair of the committee? So I have a motion from Trustee Davies to appoint Mr. Sinha as vice chair of the audit committee. Do I have a seconder for this motion?
Yes, sir. I will second.
Thank you, Trustee Campbell. So do you remember Mr. Sinha accept the nomination?
With honor, Mr. Gill.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Chair.
May I now have a motion that the nomination be closed? Moved by Trustee Davies, second by Trustee Campbell. So as we only have one nomination for the vice chair of the committee, so Mr. Sinha is acclaimed in the position. So congratulations, Mr. Sinha.
Thank you. And this is an honor.
So there we have it. We have now officially tied Mr. Cameron in acclamations. Okay. Oh, Rising Report, okay.
From the closed session, just say these were the items which we discussed.
I have to go get that county. We're going to jump around a little bit here. And we are going to go back to item 3 and rise and report from the closed session. So in our closed session, we had a little report on cybersecurity, quick one, and we had the regional internal audit update and the risk assessment from the regional internal audit plan. So that's what we went through. So we need that. Yes. Good. So now we'll move on to
1 second. Move in second.
yeah, we need to move and second that brief report. Then Mr. Sinha, we've got it. Okay, so now we'll move on to item 4, which is the acknowledgement of traditional lands.
The land upon which we work, live, and sustain ourselves is the ancestral and treaty lands of the Michizagig Anishinaabe, also known today as the Mississaugas of the Credit, the rightful caretakers and title holders of this land. We also recognize the rich pre-contact history and relationships which include the Anishinaabe and the Ongwe Hongwe.
Since European contact, this land continues to be home to Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. As responsible community members, we value the diversity, dignity, and worth of all people.
Colonialism displaced and dispossessed Indigenous peoples of their ancestral land.
and continues to deny their basic human rights, dignities, and freedoms.
We are committed to learning true history to reconcile, make reparations, and fulfill our treaty obligations to the original peoples and our collective responsibilities to the lands, water, animals, and each other for future generations.
Thank you very much for that. So we will skip by number 5. We'll go right to number 6. We have an agenda in front of us. Looking for approval of said agenda. Mr. Cameron and Mr. Sinha, we're okay there.
Aye.
So we will move down to number 7, which is declarations of conflict of interest. I will scan the room. I do not see anybody flagging me down, so there is none of those. And now we are on item 8, the approval of minutes of the audit committee meeting of November 14th. They are in your package. Can we put them on the floor? Trustee Cameron, Mr. Sinha, great. They are on the floor. I am looking for any questions, concerns, or complaints. Scanning the room, I do not see any. Can I have a quick vote to put these in the records? Okay, done. So now we will go down to item 9, which is delegations from the public. I did not receive any. So we will skip down to item 10. And we'll go to number 10.1, which is the Internal Audit Services Summary. And this would be presented by Renee Lucas. You have the floor.
Through you, Chair, Renee is not available today, so our Tony Ronca will be presenting that report.
Mr. Ronca, it's great to have you here. Please go ahead.
Through you, Chair, thank you very much for having me. I'm here to represent the internal audit team in the presentation of 10.1. 10.1 identifies for information purposes to the audit committee the list of schools completed from September 24 to current. They're listed as individual schools as there was no major items to report. Being only minor reporting, we didn't want to provide the full report as it's not as efficient as it should be. So that's why you have that list in front of you for your information. That being said, most of the audits completed, also identified through the audit plan of 24-25. Most of those audits are completed, and the few that are remain will be presented in the September audit committee meeting at that time. Along with, we will also present the frequency of the types of findings and categories to the audit committee, and also the audit log that represents the schools and the frequency going through the cycle, of which we try to keep 6 to 7 years on a cycle for the schools.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So can we put this one on the floor? And are there any questions regarding it? Look, I do not see any. Can we receive this report then? Oh, everybody okay? Wonderful. Thank you for that, Mr. Rucker. So we'll go down to 10.2. And that is the internal audit plan for 25-26. And this is for our information. And Mr. Ronka, you have the floor once again.
Thank you, through you, Chair. So this 10.2 is a representative of the plan that we hope to get achieved for the upcoming school year. And it identifies the list of schools for information purposes so we can inform the actual school locations of our audit and our schedule to have them completed. So that's why it's provided for you today.
Thanks so much for that. And this does fit in with our cycles, and this is what we're looking at. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments from committee members? I do not see any. So can we receive this report here? Everybody okay? Mr. Senna, Trustee Cameron, got it. Okay. So we'll whip down to 10.3, which is the audit committee work plan. And this will be presented by Tanya Athisha-Charles.
Through you, Chair. As always, we like to go through our work plan, which summarizes the requirements under the Ontario Regulation 361-10 with respect to audit committee work. So today's meeting is that we covered 6.1, which is the election of a new chair. Congratulations, Chair Davies. As well, we 7.2 for non-board members, we're still in the process of recruiting some new non-board members as per the regulation. Additionally, if you look at all the other internal controls, we're covered off 9.2, which talks about internal controls with our discussion both with Paula, from our RIAD perspective, as well as our own internal auditors. And as mentioned in our closed session, we did do a status report and did cover off also the plan for the next two fiscal years in terms of audits for RIAD. And that can be seen as fulfilling items in section 15.1, which will also be part of the report that will ultimately go to the board in November. And finally, we also covered off section 11.1, which talks about the requirement to have 3 meetings within the fiscal year. So this will cover that off for this year. So happy to take any questions.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions from any of the committee members? Okay, can I have a quick show of hands to receive this report then? We've got it. Okay. So we are down to, this one should be interesting. This is the PDSB 2024 annual report of access requests. And this is for information. So it's the Municipal Freedom of Information Protection Privacy Act. And it's presented by Jasmine Borakovic.
Through you, Chair, it looks like Jasmine is away today, so I'll do my best to give you some information regarding that. So what you have in front of you is the annual report for the request that the board received under the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, and these reports that the board received throughout the year 2024. So, in summary, the board received 37 requests during the 2024. 75% of these requests were in sort of the general records held by the board. 8 requests required consultation with and notification to the third parties. They also required extensions beyond the 30 days for 4 of those requests, and because they involved a large number of records and necessitated a search through a large number of records. And out of the 37, 4 requests were abandoned by requesters after the staff has done the preliminary work. In total, the board collected 1,852. These fees were paid by the requesters for access to the board records. So what you have included as an appendix is the details of what type of these requests were, who the requesters were, and then the time that it took us to complete, and as well as if we ask for any extension, notices of extension and things like that. I'll do my best to respond in Jasmine's absence if you have any questions.
I have a couple, but I'm going to save them for Jasmine for when she returns. But committee members, any other sort of anything jumping out at you? Again, if something comes to you in the next little while, just send a quick email to Jasmine, and she'll certainly get those up for you. So with that in mind, can we have a quick one to receive this report? Show of hands. There we go. We have them. Okay, so now we will move down to 10.5, which is the audit committee meeting schedule. And this is for information, and Jasper Gilligan, have the floor.
So thank you, through you, Chair Davies. What you have is in front of you the schedule of the audit committee meetings for the 2025-26 school year. As per the regulation, the committee is required to have minimum of 3 meetings. And then what you have is there are 4 meetings scheduled for the next school year. The regulation required that the committee have 1 meeting in the month of September. So that meeting will be on September 25th. Then after that, the next meeting will be on November 13th. The focus of that meeting will be on the board's 24-25 year and the audit. And then we'll have a next meeting in March, and our final meeting scheduled for June 4th. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions on this at all? I see none, so can I just have a quick vote to say we accept this? Yes, we have it. Wonderful. Okay, so we will move down here. And we will move to item 12, which is the committee member notices of motion. I didn't receive any, but are there any from the floor based on anything we've seen today? I do not see any. So now it's I'm looking for a motion for adjournment. Mr. Simmons, second by Trustee Cameron. All in favor? We are out. Thank you.